I found a new faceless YouTube method, which is blowing up extremely fast. This channel started 3 months ago and grew to 400,000 subscribers in 3 months with just 5 videos, and is now earning well over $15,000 a month. This is the biggest growth I have ever seen from a faceless channel, and there are a lot of new channels getting millions of views following this exact method. They make humorous educational videos about broad topics with just basic drawings and images. So these videos are extremely easy to make. The best part? You can create these videos completely for free in Canva, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. To start, let's take a look at one of this channel's videos, so you know what I'm talking about.
So you want to become smart. In most of the world, you're told that it takes 12 years of school. If you haven't guessed by the title, becoming smart is actually very easy. The problem is, most advice on the internet is so vague and philosophical that even if it works, the only people who could actually follow it are Oprah and Socrates.
So this channel makes educational videos on broad topics, which speak to a large audience. However, he simplifies these complex topics and explains them with humor. And as you can see, he uses basic drawings and images to enhance the humorous effect. And yep, he is getting millions of views with these simple drawings and images. Exactly what all these other new channels are doing to get millions of views as well, which, luckily for you, is extremely easy to do.
Nice.
The most important part of these videos is the script, since you will have to incorporate humor and a well-thought-out explanation of the topic. So let me show you how you can create these scripts the easiest way. We are obviously going to use ChatGPT. And before you think, alright, let's skip through this part since here is going to become another horrible, write me a YouTube script for a video about prompt, let me show you in 20 seconds the 2 methods I use on how you can actually create amazing scripts in ChatGPT. In both cases, you are going to need the transcription of the video you want to use as inspiration. Simply go to the description of the YouTube video and scroll down until you see Show Transcript. Then select the 3 dots and press Toggle Timestamps. Now you can copy the entire script of the video. Now input the following prompt in ChatGPT followed by the transcript of the video. This prompt instructs ChatGPT to analyze the script, and it will tell you exactly what makes this script is so unique and why it has likely performed as good as it did. And as you can see in this case, it mentions that it uses a humorous, relatable tone which helps with engagement. It even tells you what kind of retention techniques they use, and much more other valuable elements. You can then use this information to write the script yourself or insert it back into ChatGPT to create it for you. Next, you want to create the voiceover. And as always, I highly recommend you use 11 Labs. This is by far the most realistic voiceover software you can currently use. And if you use the link in my description, you can sign up for a free plan which gives you 20 minutes of voice generation a month for free. You can pick from hundreds of pre-made voices, and you can even clone your own voice if you like. Simply paste in your script. On the right side you have 3 sliders: the stability, similarity, and style exaggeration sliders. If you are going to generate from text, you only have to worry about the stability slider. Sliding it lower lets the voice be more expressive and emotional, while a higher value makes it sound smoother and consistent, but potentially less interesting. Once you have your settings dialed in, you want to press Generate Speech. Alright, and now the fun part begins. The easiest way to make these videos is in Canva. Here you have everything you will need in one platform, and it is very easy to use. I'm going to show you just 3 tricks in Canva. With these 3 tricks you can create these exact videos. To start, you want to select the video format. First, you want to upload the audio file you just created in 11 Labs. When you extend your page, you can also extend the full audio clip so you can see what you are working with. I'm going to make the background black since that's also what the channel Easy actually is doing. In the top left corner, you can switch the background colors. Now you want to simply play the voiceover and listen to what it is talking about. In this case, it is asking the question, so you want to lose weight and become healthy. So let's start with one of those drawings that this channel uses a lot. Select the draw feature in the menu bar on the left side of the screen. Here you can then change the color and thickness of the line. The beauty of this method is that you don't need to know how to draw. The not-so-professional drawings actually add to the humorous effect and even out the often seriousness of the topics. That's why this works great together. So let's start with a simple drawing of a fat man. Now you want to add a bit of motion to these drawings to engage the viewers. What you want to do is to select every line you just drew and select group. This will make it one element in your video, so it's easier to work on. Now simply copy this element. If you then go to position in the top left corner of your screen, and then to layers, you can see that there are two of these drawings that I just made. Let's select the bottom one and decrease the transparency. This way, you can easily distinguish one drawing from another, and you will find out in a second why this is important. Now let's ungroup the other drawing and delete every part that we are going to redraw in a slightly different way. And now you can easily draw something similar, but in a different position in relation to the first drawing to add movement to your video. For instance, the person leaning forward and touching his fat belly. Again, group this element, so it's easier to work on. And I'm actually going to add another one exactly the same as the first one, but this time with a sad facial expression. So these are the three simple drawings I made. Now let's place these after each other on the timeline to create the video. Simply select the first one and right-click with your mouse and select Show Timing. This will show this drawing in the editing timeline at the bottom of the screen. Simply shorten this clip and go to the next one. Place this one after the first on the editing timeline and the third after the second. And within just a couple of minutes you will have something that looks like this. What I recommend you do is to place the timing bar at the end of the scene. Select the black background layer and right-click with your mouse. Then select Split Page and this will become a separate scene. This way you will keep everything nice and organized, and again, make it much easier to work on. Alright, so now let's add some images. In my case, the voiceover is talking about Earth, a gym membership and personal trainers. So let's search for some images to place here. Simply go to Elements on the left side of your screen. Search for an image you want to use, select Photos, and pick one you think fits best with your script. Again, split the page at the right place on the editing timeline to keep everything nicely organized. Next, the voiceover is mentioning fancy diet plans. In this case, I think it would be funny to add a simple drawing of a diet plan. To do this, you want to go to Text on the left side of the screen, add the text for such a diet plan, and change the font to something which looks like basic handwriting. Now I'm going to draw a square around it, which would be the page itself, and that's done. If you want to spice things up a bit, you could also use animations to add more motion. In this case, the voiceover is talking about superfood from the Himalayas. I would like to reveal this so-called superfood behind an image of the Himalayas. What you want to do is place an image you want to use on the timeline. Then right-click on this image and duplicate it. Place this image after the first one. If you then go to Animate, you can add animations to this image. If you select Custom Animation, you can then move the image in any way you like, and Canva is going to save that movement, which is then incorporated in the video. In this case, I just want the image to move to the bottom of the screen, so I can reveal something behind it. You can change the smoothness and speed in the menu on the left side of your screen if you like. Once you are happy, select Done in the bottom left corner, and you will have an animation added to your video. Now let's add an image of some strange superfood and place them behind the animated image of the Himalayas. And you will get something that looks like this. The last thing which these videos use is text like this appearing word by word in the video. In Canva, you can simply go to Text on the left side of the screen. Fill in the first word, enlarge the text, then shorten that specific word on the editing timeline. Next, you want to copy that word and change it for the next one. Place it on the right place in the timeline and make that element the correct length. Simply repeat these steps until you have the entire sentence you want to display in your editing timeline, and you are done. By just using images, drawings, and text, you can create the exact same videos. Keep in mind that if you want to monetize these videos on YouTube, you will have to get a Canva Pro account, and connect this to your YouTube channel to avoid getting copyright claims. However, if you use the link in the description of this video, you can get your first month of Canva Pro for free so you can test out this method. Now let's have a look at the final result.
So you want to lose weight and become healthy? In most of the world, you're told you need expensive gym memberships, top-notch personal trainers, fancy diet plans, and some of that mystical superfood from the Himalayas. But what you actually become is broke. But here's the thing, losing weight is actually easier than you think. Sadly, most advice on the internet is as useful as a pedal-powered wheelchair.
For the people that are really serious about this method, I've actually made a free 1-hour video course diving much deeper into this method. Here, I will teach you how to analyze these viral videos to determine how you can succeed with this method, how to use AI and your research to come up with viral video ideas, how to write proper scripts with ChatGPT, and more tricks on how to create these videos in Canva. The link to this free course is in the video description. And as always, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. This helps me create more of these videos for you. Until next time.
Alright, so I'm currently at my dashboard on smmshiba.com, and do not get confused by the website names. SMM and SMM Dodge are actually the same website. So all you have to do once you've created yourself an account here is to go on list, click on this category icon, select, and here you want to select something, basically any option that says from with video. So I'm going to choose this one right here, and this should be already fine. 2014, 2017, yeah. Now I'm going to click on buy, confirm, and now you can go onto your product orders and you will see this is pending. All right, the order is now completed. This didn't even take 2 minutes. What you want to do now is you want to copy that ID, and we want to be organized, right? Especially if we have multiple channels, you will not find them again. So make sure to save it somewhere.